Bem-vindo ao Deep Dumps. No Deep Dumps, nossa missão é ajudá-lo a passar nos exames de certificação com confiança. Acesse os exames de prática mais recentes, PDFs e testes online, sempre atualizados conforme os padrões reais. Com nosso material pronto para o exame, você terá os recursos certos sempre à mão. Milhares de alunos confiam no Deep Dumps, e muitos conquistam a aprovação já na primeira tentativa. Oferecemos suporte 24 de julho por e-mail ou chat ao vivo. E nossos especialistas estão prontos para esclarecer dúvidas e orientá-lo passo a passo. Baixe as perguntas e respostas em PDF. Pratique com questões de qualidade e explicações claras. E avance rumo ao sucesso garantido.
Question 1. What native runtime is Open Container Initiative? OCI. Compliant. Option A. Run C. Option B. Run V. Option C. Kata containers. Option D. gvisor. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Run C. Question 2. Which API object is the recommended way to run a scalable, stateless application on your cluster? Option A. Replica set. Option B. Deployment. Option C. Daemon set. Option D. Pod. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Deployment. Question 3. A cron job is scheduled to run by a user every 1 hour. What happens in the cluster when it's time for this cron job to run? Option A. Kubelet watches API server for cron job objects. When it's time for a job to run, it runs the pod directly. Option B. Kube scheduler watches API server for cron job objects, and this is why it's called kube scheduler. Option C. Cron job controller component creates a pod and waits until it finishes to run. Option D. Cron job controller component creates a job. Then the job controller creates a pod and waits until it finishes to run. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Cron job controller component creates a job. Then the job controller creates a pod and waits until it finishes to run. Question 4. What is the purpose of the kubelet component within a Kubernetes cluster? Option A. A dashboard for Kubernetes clusters that allows management and troubleshooting of applications. Option B. A network proxy that runs on each node in your cluster, implementing part of the Kubernetes service concept. Option C. A component that watches for newly created pods with no assigned node, and selects a node for them to run on. Option D. An agent that runs on each node in the cluster. It makes sure that containers are running in a pod. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. An agent that runs on each node in the cluster. It makes sure that containers are running in a pod. Question 5. What is the default value for authorization mode in Kubernetes API server? Option A. Authorization mode equals RBAC. Option B. Authorization mode equals always allow. Option C. Authorization mode equals always deny. Option D. Authorization mode equals ABAC. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Authorization mode equals always allow. Question 6. Let's assume that an organization needs to process large amounts of data in bursts on a cloud-based Kubernetes cluster. For instance, each Monday morning, they need to run a batch of 1000 compute jobs of 1 hour each. And these jobs must be completed by Monday night. What's going to be the most cost-effective method? Option A. Run a group of nodes with the exact required size to complete the batch on time. And use a combination of taints, tolerations, and node selectors to reserve these nodes to the batch jobs. Option B. Leverage the Kubernetes cluster autoscaler to automatically start and stop nodes as they're needed. Option C. Commit to a specific level of spending to get discounted prices. With the G. Reserved instances, or similar mechanisms. Option D. Use priority slashes so that the weekly batch job gets priority over other workloads running on a cluster, and can be completed on time. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Leverage the Kubernetes cluster autoscaler to automatically start and stop nodes as they're needed. Question 7. What is a Kubernetes service with no cluster IP address called? Option A. Headless service. Option B. Nodeless service. Option C. IP-less service. Option D. Spaceless service. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Headless service. Question 8. CI/CD stands for. Option A. Continuous information, continuous development. Option B. Continuous integration, continuous development. Option C. Cloud integration, cloud development. Option D. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. Question 9. What default level of protection is applied to the data in secrets in the Kubernetes API? Option A. The values use asymmetric encryption. Option B. The values are stored in plain text. Option C. The values are encoded with SHA-256 hashes. Option D. The values are base 64 encoded. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. The values are base 64 encoded. Question 10. What function does kubeproxy provide to a cluster? Option A. Implementing the ingress resource type for application traffic. Option B. Forwarding data to the correct endpoints for services. Option C. Managing data egress from the cluster nodes to the network. Option D. Managing access to the Kubernetes API. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Forwarding data to the correct endpoints for services. Question 11. How long should a stable API element in Kubernetes be supported? At minimum. After deprecation. Option A. 9 months. Option B. 24 months. Option C. 12 months. Option D. 6 months. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. 12 months. Question 12. What is the name of the lightweight Kubernetes distribution built for IoT and edge computing? Option A. OpenShift. Option B. K3s. Option C. RKE. Option D. K1s. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. K3s. Question 13. Kubernetes allows you to automatically manage the number of nodes in your cluster to meet demand. Option A. Node autoscaler. Option B. Cluster autoscaler. Option C. Horizontal pod autoscaler. Option D. Vertical pod autoscaler. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Cluster autoscaler. Question 14. Which of the following statements is correct concerning Open Policy Agent? OPA. Option A. The policies must be written in Python language. Option B. Kubernetes can use it to validate requests and apply policies. Option C. Policies can only be tested when published. Option D. It cannot be used outside Kubernetes. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Kubernetes can use it to validate requests and apply policies. Question 15. In a cloud-native world, what does the IAC abbreviation stands for? Option A. Infrastructure and Code. Option B. Infrastructure as Code. Option C. Infrastructure above code. Option D. Infrastructure across code. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Infrastructure as Code. Question 16. In which framework do the developers no longer have to deal with capacity, deployments, scaling and fault tolerance, and OS? Option A. Docker Swarm. Option B. Kubernetes. Option C. Mesos. Option D. Serverless. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Serverless. Question 17. Which of the following characteristics is associated with container orchestration? Option A. Application message distribution. Option B. Dynamic scheduling. Option C. Deploying application jar files. Option D. Virtual machine distribution. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Dynamic scheduling. Question 18. Which of the following workload require a headless service while deploying into the namespace? Option A. Stateful set. Option B. Cron job. Option C. Deployment. Option D. Daemon set. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Stateful set. Question 19. What is Helm? Option A. An open source dashboard for Kubernetes. Option B. A package manager for Kubernetes applications. Option C. A custom scheduler for Kubernetes. Option D. An end-to-end testing project for Kubernetes applications. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. A package manager for Kubernetes applications. Question 20. Which is the correct kubectl command to display logs in real time? Option A. kubectl logs ptest container -1. Option B. kubectl logs ctest container -1. Option C. kubectl logs ltest container -1. Option D. kubectl logs ftest container -1. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. kubectl logs ftest container -1. Question 21. How to load and generate data required before the pod startup? Option A. Use an init container with shared file storage. Option B. Use a PVC volume. Option C. Use a sidecar container with shared volume. Option D. Use another pod with a PVC. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Use an init container with shared file storage. Question 22. What is the core functionality of GitOps tools like Argo CD and Flux? Option A. They track production changes made by a human in a Git repository and generate a human-readable audit trail. Option B. They replace human operations with an agent that tracks Git commands. Option C. They automatically create pull requests when dependencies are outdated. Option D. They continuously compare the desired state in GIT with the actual production state and notify or act upon. Differences. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. They continuously compare the desired state in GIT with the actual production state and notify or act upon. Differences. Question 23. Which Kubernetes resource workload ensures that all, or some, nodes run a copy of a pod? Option A. Replica set. Option B. Stateful set. Option C. Daemon set. Option D. Deployment. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, daemon set. Question 24. We can extend the Kubernetes API with Kubernetes API aggregation layer and CRDs. What is CRD? Option A. Custom resource definition. Option B. Custom restricted definition. Option C. Customized Rust definition. Option D. Custom Rust definition. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, custom resource definition. Question 25. The Kubernetes project work is carried primarily by SIGs. What does SIG stand for? Option A. Special Interest Group. Option B. Software Installation Guide. Option C. Support and Information Group. Option D. Strategy Implementation Group. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, Special Interest Group. Question 26. What is the order of 4 C's in cloud native security? Starting with the layer that a user has the most control over. Option A. Cloud to container to cluster to code. Option B. Container to cluster to code to cloud. Option C. Cluster to container to code to cloud. Option D. Code to container to cluster to cloud. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, code to container to cluster to cloud. Question 27. Which group of container runtimes provides additional sandboxed isolation and elevated security? Option A. Rune. C groups. Option B. Docker. Containered. Option C. Run SC. Kata. Option D. Crun. Creo. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, Run SC. Kata. Question 28. What is the common standard for service meshes? Option A. Service Mesh Specification. SMS. Option B. Service Mesh Technology. SMT. Option C. Service Mesh Interface. SME. Option D. Service Mesh Function. SMF. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, Service Mesh Interface, SME. Question 29. Which statement about ingress is correct? Option A. Ingress provides a simple way to track network endpoints within a cluster. Option B. Ingress is a service type like node port and cluster IP. Option C. Ingress is a construct that allows you to specify how a pod is allowed to communicate. Option D. Ingress exposes routes from outside the cluster to services in the cluster. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Ingress exposes routes from outside the cluster to services in the cluster. Question 30. What best describes cloud-native service discovery? Option A. It's a mechanism for applications and microservices to locate each other on a network. Option B. It's a procedure for discovering a MAC address associated with a given IP address. Option C. It's used for automatically assigning IP addresses to devices connected to the network. Option D. It's a protocol that turns human-readable domain names into IP addresses on the Internet. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. It's a mechanism for applications and microservices to locate each other on a network. Question 31. What components are common in a service mesh? Option A. Tracing and log storage. Option B. Circuit breaking and pod scheduling. Option C. Data plane and runtime plane. Option D. Service proxy and control plane. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Service proxy and control plane. Question 32. Which storage operator in Kubernetes can help the system to self-scale, self-heal, etc.? Option A. Rook. Option B. Kubernetes. Option C. Helm. Option D. Container Storage Interface, CSI. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Rook. Question 33. What fields must exist in any Kubernetes object? E. G. YAML. File. Option A. API version. Client. Metadata. Option B. Client. Namespace. Data. Option C. API version. Metadata. Namespace. Option D. Client. Metadata. Data. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. API version, kind, metadata. Question 34. Which of the following would fall under the responsibilities of an SRE? Option A. Developing a new application feature. Option B. Creating a monitoring baseline for an application. Option C. Submitting a budget for running an application in a cloud. Option D. Writing policy on how to submit a code change. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Creating a monitoring baseline for an application. Question 35. What are the initial namespaces that Kubernetes starts with? Option A. Default. Kube system. Kube public. Kube node lease. Option B. Default. System. Kube public. Option C. Kube default. Kube system. Kube main. Kube node lease. Option D. Kube default. System. Kube main. Kube primary. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Default, Kube system, Kube public, Kube node lease. Question 36. What is a probe within Kubernetes? Option A. A monitoring mechanism of the Kubernetes API. Option B. A pre-operational scope issued by the kubectl agent. Option C. A diagnostic performed periodically by the kubelet on a container. Option D. A logging mechanism of the Kubernetes API. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. A diagnostic performed periodically by the kubelet on a container. Question 37. Which Kubernetes feature would you use to guard against split-brain scenarios with your distributed application? Option A. Replication controllers. Option B. Consensus protocols. Option C. Rolling updates. Option D. Stateful set. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Stateful set. Question 38. What feature must a SNE support to control specific traffic flows for workloads running in Kubernetes? Option A. Border Gateway Protocol. Option B. IP address management. Option C. Pod security policy. Option D. Network policies. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, network policies. Question 39. What is the main role of the Kubernetes DNS within a cluster? Option A. Acts as a DNS server for virtual machines that are running outside the cluster. Option B. Provides a DNS as a service, allowing users to create zones and registries for domains that they own. Option C. Allows pods running in dual stack to convert IPv6 calls into IPv4 calls. Option D. Provides consistent DNS names for pods and services for workloads that need to communicate with each other. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Provides consistent DNS names for pods and services for workloads that need to communicate with each other. Question 40. Scenario. You have a Kubernetes cluster hosted in a public cloud provider. When trying to create a service of type load balancer, the external IP is stuck in the pending state. Which Kubernetes component is failing in this scenario? Option A. Cloud Controller Manager. Option B. Load Balancer Manager. Option C. Cloud Architecture Manager. Option D. Cloud Load Balancer Manager. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, Cloud Controller Manager.